All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, it was early morning this morning. Well, I'm up early every morning. I'm up around 5, um, pretty much every morning. And we're going to hurry up and just jump right on in. It's the third day of the Feast of Trumpets.
Mm.
So we will be continuing in the teaching because we're going to complete, because we've read all the way from Exodus
Yes, we
chapter
have.
20 all the way. Now we're going to finish Deuteronomy 34 within the matter of a week.
Mm.
And it's a good thing. I'm glad that, you guys have been trying to keep up. And I was talking to my sister this morning and I was telling her, I was like, comprehend. I'm not asking you to understand. I want you to comprehend. Think about the rules that I'm telling you, because this law is the only law for myself and for the rest of the children of Israel. And the only one that's able to administrate it at this time is myself. You know,
Mm.
I got to get other brothers here, and we got to build up. So everybody wants to jump into their thing
Mm.
that they want to, that
Yeah.
they think is important. For
Yeah.
some of you, it's feast days. Well, if I can get the feast days, for
Mm.
some of you, it's the Shabbat. If I can keep the Shabbat,
Mm.
and then you're always waiting for somebody to do the job you're actually supposed to do for yourself.
Mm.
So we're gonna jump right on in, and I hope you guys start listening and preparing. I've been notified this morning. Some people have gotten their 5-year visas successfully.
Wonderful.
So, it's a good thing. It's an excellent thing because people who are hearing and are doing what they need to do to prepare, that is excellent.
Mm.
However, I'm going to tell everybody this yet again. You know, we have to own it,
Mm.
right? We have to own the land.
Yes.
If we're going on a payment plan, it has to be short.
Right.
When I short, meaning, 3 to 6 months the most.
Mm-hmm.
But all the money has to be guaranteed
Yes.
and in an account
Mm-hmm.
for us to make our adjustments.
Yes.
It cannot be we go out and finance the land over a long period of time, because that will put us in the same position that we are in. So that is not what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pay for it and be finished, because from ownership, you are nobody's slave.
Right.
We're going into this debt free.
Free. Mm-hmm.
That way, everything we make
It's
is
all.
100% profit for our growth and for our development. I don't think I've ever expressed that like that before.
No, you haven't.
So I've insinuated it, I've talked around it, but the reason why I emphasize collecting all the money and having everything is because we're going to go at this and be completely debt free.
Mm-hmm.
And for being debt free in the ownership of the land, the buildings you have to pay for in process, as you know, any building projects, and
Yeah.
that's for our supermarket. The building you have to pay for in progress,
Yes.
because you got to get supplies, workers, contracts, engineers, departments. Is everything is on a payment for that.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the ownership of the land, that has to be said and done.
Yes.
It cannot be we don't own the land. Because once the supermarket gets done, our economy then skyrockets. And having the money in hand, you are able to make important decisions and execute them in a time and money saving manner.
Yes.
You know, so supermarkets, you have to have this, you have to get the space. Then there's the store design, shelving, refrigeration units. And even though we're buying things used, we still don't want to have a bad aesthetic
Right.
to the store.
Yes.
Where this is a professional place of business, it's also profitable to have a nice, clean look. Cleaning supplies to clean the store, you know, depending on the size that we're able to get. You know, you got to have your floor scrubbers, you know, and then we have to staff, you know, get staffing, personnel, what we need. So the people who are coming here, the people who are coming here, when you're coming in as shareholder, you're coming in as a stakeholder, you're coming in as part owners. You're not coming in as employees, hopefully. Hopefully. This is the point of me telling you this, because yes, though I have to receive you as a brother or a sister, if you have not made your lawful contribution, then you're going to be stuck with a year of remission term of agreement. Okay? Work in exchange for provision. You're going to be stuck with that. Right? You'll get a small pay as well, but that's basically what the situation is. You'll be stuck in a service agreement because of your reluctance to reason with the truth.
Stubbornness.
Your stubbornness. Okay? Also, what you invest in, it don't come back. It's not like this.
No refunds.
There's no refunds. It's not a business venture. We are building a state. So what you invest into this, you're going to get back that and then some when the lots are divided. But you still have to work. Just because you give doesn't mean you don't work.
Right.
Right? So you give in, you don't have to, you're not under the same stipulation as the person who comes in with nothing.
Right.
You have a slightly different stipulation. You're working to grow your investment. You understand?
Yeah.
I hope somebody understands.
Yes.
So the person working, they come in and they have to serve for what they need for their survival. The person that gives, they have a provision. They know they're coming into the space that is being provided by the others.
Right.
But we have to work to grow our investment.
Yes.
Okay? I just want that to be clear. And this is the lawful action. Okay? It's not my decision. I have to make the lawful decisions based upon what's written, just as everybody else does. I'm going to be harder on it than anybody else and everybody else because I'm held to a higher standard of keeping the law than everyone else. Okay? A common person, you're going to make common people mistakes. For me, the things that I deem as the most important, you think like they so little. But they'll be the most important thing.
Yes, it is.
When you see, I see it, you'll see. I'll be, hey, listen, we got to cut this short. We got to do this. This is the important thing for today.
Yes.
And you focused over here. You see? I don't play with my responsibilities at all. You'll never see me distracted or unfocused in what I'm supposed to be doing. Nobody will have the opportunity to do my job. I don't give out that opportunity.
Right.
All right. All righty.
21.
Chapter 21.
Yeah, we moving right through.
Okay. If a male be found slain upon the ground, unburied, in the land which Yah your Allah giveth you to inherit, lying down and not hanged on a tree in the field, nor floating on the face of the water, nor it be known who did kill him. So, first of all, this is somebody who was murdered, okay? This is not someone who killed themselves. So if you find somebody who died in water of drowning, okay, meaning you pull them out, you're going to inspect the body,
Yes.
and you know, oh, this person drowned. He have no physical wounds. His face is bloated. You can see he breathed in water. There's the drown look. Or he's hanging in a tree. Again, you're going to inspect the body. You see that his wrists or his hands and feet were not damaged or hung, and he only put it on his neck, and he only killed himself with that. So there is an inspection. Okay. So now, if it's not known who killed him, then two of the sages. This only requires two sages. I would wish some people would grow up and become sages. It takes some re-education.
Yes.
Two of the sages shall proceed from the chief of the court of judgment, and three of thy judges. So, as you can see, there's sages,
Yes, and judges.
there's a chief of the court of judgment, and three judges. And shall measure to the surrounding cities which lie on the four quarters from the spot where the dead man is found. So, in other words, we're going to look and see they're judging to see which city is the closest
Yes.
to the dead man. And the city that's closest being the suspected one, we let the chief court of justice take means for absolution. Okay, let's see what this word is. A formal release from guilt, obligation, or punishment. Okay? Or disculpation, which is the same as absolution. Okay? Okay, it won't let me highlight it for some reason, but all right. Let the sages, the elders of the city, take an heifer. So you see now what I mean when I said I wish to raise up
Yes.
some sages.
Yes.
So you need the elders of the city. These are sages.
Yes.
They are well versed and deep in the law. Okay? And they are overseeing the city to make sure the customs, the traditions, and the laws are being upheld.
Wow. Yeah, we desperately need that as a people. We really do.
Sages. You don't become a sage just because you get old.
Right.
You have to start getting this understanding under your fingernails. You guys, and when I was in plumbing, they said you had to cut your teeth. You know what I'm saying? You had to get the dirt under your fingernails. When I was in music, they said I played piano. They said, yeah, you got to get it under your fingers. You have to get it under your fingers. So let the sages, the elders of the city, take a heifer from the herd that is not commixed, and heifer of the year, which has not been brought, nor hath drawn in the yoke.
Similar to the red heifer.
So this, it has not been beaten. Okay? So this is a very young cow, a year old, and the only thing it's done is graze and been with the herd. And the sages of that city shall bring the heifer down into an uncultivated field. So they bring it into the field outside in the wilderness, where the ground hath not been tilled by work, nor sowed, and let them there behead the heifer. From behind her with an axe, a knife, or the dolch. This is the beheading sword, the cleaving sword. Okay. So you're gonna lead the cow out. Everybody knows what's going on except the cow. And somebody's gonna come up from behind the cow and gonna behead the cow from behind, coming from behind.
Wow.
So now we're going to reenact the murder. The murder. The person didn't, maybe he wasn't beheaded, but this is
caught unaware.
Reenacting the murder because we don't know where the killer is.
Wow.
In the midst of the field, and the priest, the sons of Levi. So now this is what the judges, the priests, the sages, those group of men, they went out, and this is all coordinated after they performed this murder with this sheep, the cow.
Right.
Now we call for the Levite. For Yah, your Allah, has chosen them to minister to him and to bless his name according to their words, to resolve every judgment in any plague of leprosy, to shut up and to pronounce concerning it. So to lock up, when you sequester somebody, and also to pronounce what is the judgments concerning a matter. So we bring the Levites after, because when you go to commit this killing from behind, the Levite cannot be involved. Why? Because if this is a sacrifice unto the name of the Most High, it has to be done by a certain procedure.
Right.
It's a different procedure, and this is not unto the Most High. We need to make a discovery.
Yes.
And as you can see, this is not a practical way of making discovery for an innocent man's death that nobody know who killed him.
So this is all part of the investigation.
This is a part of the investigation procedure.
Okay.
Okay. We ask, and also at the same time we still asking about the man,
right,
and what was he doing, who was he with. We're making all of these inquiries, but aside from all of those inquiries about this man and this, and maybe who anybody see something, but we don't know who killed him. Because nobody know, he was just missing and this and that. All right, we're not going to prosecute anybody because we don't know. We don't have any witnesses, any man, anybody, any nothing. So now we're conducting this. We still questioning inside. I mean, make an inquiry, make an investigation, but this whole reenactment is happening in the back. And so the Most High says, with this on our land, again, our land. You have to be on our land for this to work. This don't work in America. It don't work nowhere else. You have to be on our land that we possess, right?
You know, as we're reading this, And as much as you have been expounding on this, I don't want to say explaining, but expounding and giving us clearer insight. And even with what we're reading now, this scenario, this situation, it gives more detail in who we are. We're not just a people. We are a collective. How serious us being scattered has made us lost. Because all of these laws that we have read thus far, and we have read them over and over and over, it's required, it is needed for us to have our land and be in our land in order to exercise and walk in our laws.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But we have been so programmed in each man for themselves.
Right, you've been brainwashed.
We've been so brainwashed that this is so foreign.
Right, this is just pure water. This is to rinse the soap out that's between your ears. That's what this is. This is just water. You've been brainwashed. You got soap in your brain. Now we got to clean your brain out and get all of that filth from that nasty soap out from between your two ears. So this is just water.
You can't keep the law without your land.
Right. That's the basic fundamental principle. It's for self-governance, governing yourself. Right? How you govern yourself, how you govern your family, how you govern your people, how you govern your cities, how you govern your regions, how you govern your nation. It's for governing. It is not like some kind of mystical side rule book, but the government does something else. You cannot keep the Most High's law in a foreign land because that land already has its governing body.
Yes.
You have to own your own land and govern yourself in your land under these laws.
Wow.
Okay. And all the elders of the cities lying nearest to the dead man shall wash their hands over the heifer which has been cut off in the field. So now, the person that they find who's died, now they go and get some other elders from the nearby cities. They come out there with some water, and they're going to wash their hands over this carcass of this cow. So they're washing their hands, and they're just shaking it on the dead cow. The water over the cow, like this. And while they're washing their hands, they have to recite these words. And shall answer and say, answer. What's the question? You see, this answer, they have to, while they're doing this over this cow with this innocent bloodshed, they have to give an account to the Most High.
For that innocent blood.
It's like a prayer, but to us in leadership, they don't understand. To us in leadership, the angels that you cannot see are as real as a person standing next to us, and they are always recording our accounts. Our words, what we say, what we do, and we have to give an answer because now there's been a dead body and there must be an answer for this dead body. There's innocent bloodshed. So where's this innocent blood? Because we have to atone for this, right? We have to find the killer and either kill him or this is by accident in the field, and we got to find this man because now we have to send forth another investigative party to go for the city of refuge.
Yes, it all comes together.
This all together. So we have a dead man. We don't know who killed him. We have to send somebody. Did this man come to the city of refuge? Was anybody have enmity? This is a big problem. Now the other sages have to come out and they have to be clean. Listen, I have nothing to do with this. This is not a sentence or a punishment or something that I have made judgment upon. So I have to be clean. I cannot have blood on my hands. So I'm clean from this. So this is what they have to say. We'll be right back.
So the heifer is pretty much representing the dead man.
Yes.
And that's why,
Right. There's innocent bloodshed.
Yes.
So now the heifer, we take the heifer out, and it's like for the sin now is actually upon everybody. The first person has to be clean is the leadership. So now the sages have to kill this heifer, like in the manner of the murder. You come up upon him in the field, and then the sages come and wash their hands and say, well, here's what they're going to say. It is manifest before Yah that this has not come by our hands. You're right. If it's by my word, I stand there and I say, no, this man did XYZ crime, and he fled, and I sent a soldier to kill him.
Right.
And the soldier slew him by arrow or by this or by that, and we did not see in this time where his body fell. This is this. We bring forth the records of the court. Here's my judgment. That's it. Pick him up, bury him. So if the body, when you committed this judgment, if it's something like in this type of parameter, it was dark, they came upon him in the dark and they slew him, and they could not find where the body fell in the night. They shoot him, but we didn't know where he went. This is normal.
Right.
If this is not that case,
yes,
everybody, whoa. This is not my judgment. No, I'm clean. So this has not come by our hands, nor have we absolved him who shed this blood. So there's no judgment.
Right.
See?
Yes.
I just said that. I didn't send somebody, so I gave this word. This person have no crime.
Yes.
I send him, and I'm known. It's recorded. I'm a judge. I'm a sage. I'm an elder. I did this. This was the judgment. He raped or something.
Right, but based on this, there was nothing.
No, nobody gave a judgment. I haven't absolved the man who did this. I know nothing about this. Literally nothing. Because if there is a judgment, then it is justified, not self-justified. There is a whole case. There is a full judgment. And we can track down, it's from this, and he raped over here, and this, and there's a record, and we bring him to the court, and he flee from the court, and he did this. We have record. We track it down. So if we have the record, then the record goes in, we close the case, it gets still presented before the Most High. Here's the record, here's the account, this, and we make whatever sacrifice offerings that is necessary in its right. There is a right. There must be full record from beginning to end of what right was being exercised.
Yeah. So us getting our land back It's so important, detriment, that our sanctuary is built, our court system is built. This process that has to be done is so important.
Exactly. So when we come back, we're first going to establish food.
Yes.
And then from who's faithful over food and diligent in the law will be raised up to become officials, officers in the military, officers of the court, judges. You know, everybody have their place in you. Okay, we're back. And you will see by their gift, not their desire.
Correct.
The gift. Because you may be a judge and you still have to be an officer. Every man must serve in the military.
Yes.
Every man must be prepared to fight and to defend our land. Everyone. There's no exemption. Okay?
Yes.
We just want to defend our border. We have to protect our land. This is not a crime in nobody's book.
Right.
Okay? With no thief from outside, no rapes, no. We protect within our border. It requires us to have possession of the whole community.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So we have not absolved him who shed this blood, nor have our eyes beheld. So we have not seen, nor have we seen anything concerning this. And the priest shall say, so now having to give an answer for the question of who killed this man, who shed this innocent blood, they gave an answer, they washed their hands, and now this heifer's blood is atoning now for this innocent man who is passed, and we still seeking the judgment for it.
Right.
But we need that for blood, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. So somebody die, blood have to be shed. And right now, this blood of the heifer is just to atone for everybody else except the killer. And the priest shall say, let there be expiation, cleansing, right? Let's make sure we have that. Right? An act of making amends, reparations for wrongdoing, atonement, expiation. This is cleansing.
Yes.
Right? Let there be expiation for thy people, whom thou, O Yah, hast redeemed. How are these people redeemed? They own their land. So he's talking to a people who have been brought out of captivity, bondage, slavery, and exile, and they have bought back their land. We will have to do this once or twice. It will happen.
Yes. Yeah, because he's stating it.
And so you have to have the cow, because this is about the people who've been redeemed. You thought this was talking about some bygone era, and now we have some new book and some new prophet to tell us some new thing, because we couldn't fulfill this, so the Most High had to change it to make it something that we could do. Are you dumb?
And using a person to do it.
Are you
he
dumb?
said use a heifer.
Are you dumb? To think that the Most High would say that this law is finished, or that he gave us a law that we could not keep, is saying that he didn't know what he was doing when he gave us that law. When he said, I gave it to you and it was perfect. The law is perfect, it's flawless.
And it's forever.
And forever. So that goes to all the people who think, well, in the olden times, we in a new day and age, we in new times. That goes to show you in the new stage of retarded.
That's how deep the idolatry goes.
So for the expiation of thy people, whom thou, O Yah, has redeemed, and lay not the guilt of innocent blood upon thy people Israel, but let him who hath done the murder be revealed, and they shall expiate, atone concerning the blood. Okay?
Yes.
So now we have this one. Now we're going to go and the princes now we take from our own. And we have to go now with these priests to the temple and make atonement
For
for the innocent blood that was shed and on behalf of the people, even though we have not committed this sin or crime. We are down 2 calves.
so at the end of the day, if they did not go through this right exactly and did not do this, the guilt of this bloodshed would have been on everybody. Wow.
It would have been on everybody. But now we did this act which the Most High commands, and this gives the blood to the earth, and that's for the innocent blood that the earth received to atone for the earth, our land that we on, so we don't get spit out. Now we have to go and take this another cow and go to the tabernacle and now atone for ourselves and everybody else now with the cow with the priest.
So you witness, you
2 cows
see this.
down. 2 cows. This man commit murder. It cost me 2 cows. This is why I don't care for money. Money doesn't mean nothing to me. I need the sheep, I need the cows, I need the lambs, I need the rams, I need the land. I need food, I need this in abundance. Cause I have to pay the price for the little things that people think that they could try to get away with. It cost me. There's no profit in being king.
Right.
It cost me.
Right, because the heifer and everything comes from you.
You have to take it from the sages, from the governor, from whoever's in charge of the city. You have to take from there. If we have more than one city, oh, alhamdulillah. This one from this city, finally, this on you. You have to pay the price because this comes from your people. You the head, your people, you pay. So now, and they shall be expiated concerning the blood. But straightway there will come forth a swarm of worms from the excrement of the heifer. So when you perform this procedure, the Most High said, from the caca of the cow, when you kill it, it caca.
Yes, it does.
From the caca of the cow, right? There shall come forth worms, and it will spread abroad. They will spread out and move to the place where the murderer is and crawl over him. And the magistrates shall take him and judge him.
Boy, that's some kind of power that Yah has, that the earth will execute his judgment.
Told you. We did this. We did this. So we there. We watching for the worms to come. It can take days.
Wherever they land.
We go through this whole process, this whole procedure. It can take 1, 2, 3 days. We waiting for the worms to come out this cow's caca. When the worms come out of this cow's caca and wherever they crawl, we now have to take the slow process of following the worms that come out from the caca in a field that was done somewhere nearby, and we have to follow it to whoever this guy's house is and wait. The worms, believe me, they're not going to come while this guy is at work. I promise you, these worms arrive in the nighttime. When this man finally get tired and he's trying to get some sleep, the worms go right to his house. Soon as they go in there, we waiting outside. We knock on the door. Let the worms get good on him. Knock on the door. There's somebody in there. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, grab that one.
He's the one.
This one, grab him. Let's go. What? No, you killed this man.
You can't get away with murder.
Not going to get away. You tried to commit murder and hide in your house. Now, what's the problem? Where didn't this man go? He didn't actually, obviously the man didn't flee to the
city of refuge.
city of refuge.
No, he
went home. Like everything, nobody gonna know.
Everything is good.
All right. That's how dumb he is. He got caught because of his own dumbness, thinking that ain't nobody gonna know. He thought this law was a lie. And now we bring him out and we bury him. Alhamdulillah. So shall you, O house of Israel, put away from among you whosoever, it don't matter who it is, sheds innocent blood, that you may do what is right before Yah. Now, this next verse, it starts with a very special word.
Yes.
Read the first word of the next verse so they don't think I'm making it up.
When,
which means it's with absolution. There is no question about it. There is a time that it will happen. Now, it's not going to happen in this time, but it will happen. When this next thing happens, we have to be ready. So the law is teaching us now how to get ourselves together so that we can be ready for, and that's all capitalized?
yes, it is.
Capital WHEN. When.
So it's going to happen.
Okay. When what?
When you go out to war against your enemies, and Yah your Allah shall deliver them into your hands, and you take some of them captive.
All right. So now when? This is bound to happen, and this will be the result of the win. Okay? This is happening now? No, because you are not fit. You have no water. You're not clean. You're dirty. The men and the women, all of you together, you're dirty. You have dirty minds. You have dirty hearts. We are trying to fix that by getting the law to be understood. But you're going to have to listen to this law like you listen to your favorite songs. You have to kind of go over it. I have to go over it, and I'm still going over it. Now it's year number 8. I'm still going over it every day. This is the price. I cannot put the section of the law that was written for me down. I have to continue to go over it every day, that I may practice and exercise the lawful judgment in my mind.
You know, the only way we can win a war
It has to be on your land.
has to be on your land, and Yah has to be the one to deliver your enemies into your hands.
Yeah, it don't work.
It has nothing to do with you.
It got nothing to do with you.
Yeah. So when it said in a few chapters back about thinking you're inheriting certain things off of your own righteousness, You're fooling yourself.
Yeah, you're fooling yourself. You're not going to get nothing. The Most High is going to deliver them into your hands. You're going to have to perform the work.
Right.
Okay? It's not you that's making it happen. It's not your
Right.
decisions. It's not your choices. It's not
Right.
your plan.
Right.
That's when I say it has nothing to do with you. It's not has nothing to do with your thinking.
Yes.
There is a way that it has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does it say next?
If you see in the captivity a woman of fair countenance.
Okay, let's see what this is. Okay. A woman of fair countenance. Okay, a pretty girl.
Yes.
Okay.
And you approve of her and will take her to you to wife.
Okay, now I need you to understand
Mm-hmm.
when you go to war, when
When you go to war.
you go to war,
Okay.
because you only doing this during the time of the walk. There's a war walk we have to take. The whole army, all 12 tribes, you have to move around, and you're going to slowly begin to receive back your land. And this is only from the people who want to decline us our right to our land because they know it is ours. Okay? And this is under the Most High's instruction. It's for an appointed time. Not now. There's not nowhere near now.
No, good. You're not in war in your land.
Right. You don't even own any land
Land
over here yet.
anyway.
So when I say come buy land first, you're supposed to take the wealth that you have, the money that you have, and come give it to the congregation to buy land. Because we have to come here, you have to work here, you have to eat here, you have to have complete survival. So we have to have a complete economy that serves you. So when this time comes, you're talking about people living on the land and they know it's yours and they don't want to render it. They want to take it or keep it from you. So this is a long time from now. Okay? So, and when you see the women on this land, at that time, there will only be of the family. Now, remember that everybody of the Jebusites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Hivites, and all the other of the seven, I think there's 7 nations you are not permitted to marry into. Of those 7, we're not taking and we're not marrying any of those. It is forbidden. So don't get it confused. This is not a conflict, but there will be other peoples. Okay, so they're family members, right? So even within the house of Abraham, there is some families that don't wish you to have anything. It's an internal issue.
Right.
So we have to deal with it internally among the family of Abraham. When you're dealing with family, you don't deal with it the same. We're just removing the ones who have a conflict with the birthright. That's it.
Like a sibling rivalry.
That's it. Removing the ones that have a conflict with the birthrights. Okay?
Yes.
This doesn't affect them, their children, and some other stuff. So this is why you will take for wives. All right? So then you shall take her into thy house and let her cut off the hair of her head, and you're going to cut her nails and put off the dress of her captivity, and dipping herself become a proselyte in thy house. Now, this Dipping is a bath. It's not baptism. Okay? We don't do that. There's soap and water. She's going to wash up. And she has to weep on account of the idols of the house of her father and mother. And thou shalt wait 3 months to know whether she be with child. So you're going to take her, and she's going to live with you and your family as a member of the family for 3 months. And you're not going to touch her. She's just in your house. Everybody knows that she's in your house. So her hair is cut. Okay, so she don't have hair the whole 3 months. Her nails are cut. So she's manicured, but they're not long. They cut. And she has on beautiful dresses. She has on all the traditional garments. She's kept nice and beautiful. She is fed. She is treated with all manner of goodness. And afterwards, thou mayest go to her and endow her and make her thy wife.
Wow.
Okay, now wait a minute. We'll be back. There's some details here. Okay, I'm back. So here are the details. So you may go to her. So this woman is a virgin. And you may see if she is willing to accept you to be her husband. Why? After 3 months, you have given her all good. You are, she can see this wasn't a personal vendetta against her or her family. She was allowed to honor her father and her mother because this family, this is a Muslim woman. They lose the war, but I want to be your husband, and if you want, I accept you, and you would come and be in my family, and you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to fear.
So when it says kept a woman of fair countenance, that is a virgin
It's a
woman.
virgin. She's a virgin. Because remember,
Yes.
the redeemers have the choice. This is virgin.
Right.
So when you take of the captivities, you're only taking the women that have not known a man.
Right.
Okay?
So many people try to use this in order for them to marry their strange women today. But though this is for, because it says when, this is for a specific time that this is done.
Right. So now it says you may go to her and endow her and make her thy wife. Okay? So now this is the full wedding ceremony and everything else. But if thou hast no pleasure in her, so okay, she doesn't agree. Okay? She doesn't agree. You see that word may? She don't want to sleep with you. She don't want to be with you. She don't want nothing. There's no problem. Thou mayest send her away only with a writing of divorce. But thou shalt in no wise sell her for money nor merchandise after thou hast had intercourse with her. So now you've married this girl. You've been with her. That's it. This is your wife. She don't want to be or participate. This. You give her the bill of divorce and you send her away. Okay? Now, when it says that, it is important to know because this picks up in another place. You put back on what she came in with and you just send her out into the street. And no man is to help, support, or approach unto this woman, right? Why? Because they know she was brought in. They know she was treated well. They know nobody could touch her for 3 months. This man had the big wedding ceremony for her, and now she don't want to. She don't want to be married. Okay, she's in the street. Let her walk wherever she wants to go. But nobody is to accept her. If you accept this woman, right? You, the man that accepts this woman, have a problem, right? Just because even you give her the bill of divorcement doesn't mean that a man of Israel can take her. She has to go and walk off of your land into another whole new place.
And that's for this specific woman.
Same specific woman is the captive woman. So she has to walk out of your country. You have to have some determination. Okay? You have to have some determination. She get out there about a day or two and walk back. That's how Hagar was. That's the same law and implemented that Abraham implemented with Hagar when he sent her away. And then the famine hit and she got thirsty and she got hungry and she had to walk back. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. We'll get to that in the judgments.
You know, there are men that what you just say applies that to Yasharon women. Daughters, the daughters of
It
Zion,
literally says
to the captive.
a woman of captivity. This is not daughters of Zion. Daughters of Zion have first right, and you get to pick from them, and they get to pick from you if there is some type of disagreement. This right here is a woman you acquired out of covenant to be in covenant. Okay?
Yes, sir. Understood.
And this is why she is treated as such, because she has to know if she's not keeping our covenant, our laws, she is free to go and into exile. She can wander and be a sharmuta in the street in another country, not on our land. All right?
Yes, sir.
Verse 15, if a man have two wives, and one is beloved, and the other hated, and they bear him sons. So you have two wives. Now you have to understand the context of love and hated. Okay?
Yes, sir.
In the context of love and hated, there is a favorite one and one you don't really like that. I'll be right back. 1 second. All right. So this is not hated as like you can't stand this woman. All right. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So one is beloved and the other hated, and they bear him sons. Okay? This ain't that type of hatred because they obviously
Right.
sleeping together.
Right.
Okay? So if they're sleeping together, you just have a favorite. And then there's another one, she's keeping the law with you, and y'all together. But you have a favorite. Both the beloved and the hated wife and the firstborn son be of the hated. So the one you don't favor is the firstborn son. It shall be in the day that he deviseth to his sons the inheritance of the wealth that may be his, he shall not be allowed to give the birthright portion to the son of the beloved over the head of the son of the hated wife. to whom the birthright belongs. So what happens? What happens? He cannot divide, right? So you can give them, each one have their portion, but the birthright portion is so your inheritance, you got two sons. Your inheritance, your land gets divided into three lots. So one son have one lot, and the birthright son, he get two. All right? So if you're giving out a portion, each son gets a portion, but the birthright gets two portions. Okay? So when you say Esau sold his birthright, he had two portions.
Portions.
He had two, but he didn't care. I got one. I can only manage one. So what I care about the other one, I can't touch it anyway. It's too big. It's too much. Yeah, you want it, take it. I don't care. That's spurning the birthright. You see, you receive it, and you don't know what its value is, and then you deem it undesirable in the time. So you have to give the birthright portion to the firstborn son. So what happened? Let's look at history. When Reuben is born to Leah, he is the firstborn son. He received everything. He received the birthright portion, right? And he's the firstborn. He gets a regular lot, right? He made a mistake, and it caused him to lose his birthright portion, and it went to the firstborn of the beloved wife.
And so that's the only way that happens.
It transfers. The son make a mistake. You have to break a law. So that only happened once in our history of our own forefathers and our people. Everybody else pretty much like the birthright. Okay?
So, because you know somebody may be watching and thinking. So if you have the two wives and they both have sons, the one who has the firstborn son out of the two is the one who inherits the birthright. So though they were both sons were born from both women, it's the firstborn from which one of the women? Because the birthright is not through the woman, it's through the man. So even though they're two different women and they both have sons, it's whoever had the son first is who the birthright goes
The birthright portion. Each one gets a portion.
Right.
Every son is entitled to his portion.
Right.
The birthright portion goes to the firstborn son from the woman who gives birth first. So the first with the first with the first.
Yeah.
All right? And that's what happens with the birthright portion. Okay, so.
Yes.
But, and this is also, I need to say this. This is also because women have their own ambitions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about wealth. We're not talking about, everybody wants to talk about wealth like it's money. When we talk about wealth, it has never, ever been money.
No, it hasn't.
Okay? Because the person who creates the kingdom creates its money. Right? Paper, coins, it's created to represent wealth, substance. And all the wealth has always ever been the land and what comes from the land. The food, the cattle, okay? It's always been that. That is wealth. So we're talking about dividing wealth. So when a man have land in abundance, a lot of land, and he got palaces all over it, and he owns all the palaces, and he's housing people, he's feeding people. This man is incredibly wealthy. Okay? So when women see that, they start to think, well, I would like to be in the palace, and I want the nice space and a nice room, nice house. Maybe I take one floor just for me, and I'm living good, and I take care of him, and I don't have to worry about it. This is always the case. So whether it be a penthouse or the first floor of the building here, it's always the same. It's always the same. There's women like this. Okay. There's no woman on God's green earth. There's no woman that liked to receive a whole mansion and then have to clean all of it by herself. There is none. You got talking about it's a quarter of a mile, and she to clean it, she got to do 4 floors. She got to do a mile to clean it. You got to walk around a mile. You might as well did like 2 or 3, because you got to go across, go back here, get this, get that. You walk all the way down the hall. Nobody wants that. I'm telling you. I've seen it. Like, what? You want to clean this all by yourself? No. Nah, I take a little ass space. It's enough for me. All right. So for the women that have the ambition, this is so that catering to the husband does not grant his son something that he is not entitled to. Let him acknowledge the birthright of the son of her who is disliked. See? Disliked, meaning not favored.
Right.
Not hated, like, oh my God, I hate her. But you and her, she's feisty, and the other one's easygoing. This is your first wife. It was an arranged marriage. She's not your favorite. It was arranged, but you have to keep her because of your father. There's a law for this. And then there's the woman you really wanted, and now you got her, and
Yep.
no, this don't work.
Yep.
Okay? So let him acknowledge the birthright that goes to the daughter, the wife of the son who is disliked, and all that belongeth to it, to give him the double portion of all that may be found with him, because he is the beginning of the man's strength, and to him pertaineth the birthright. Okay? So this is the law of the birthright and how it is to be divided. Okay? If a man have a son depraved and rebellious. So right now the Most High is talking to all of you. All of you. Every last one. I know you're mad when you hear this.
That's so
right?
true.
But if you're mad, then you know it applies to you. Right? Because the brothers that I know that are coming out and coming to work on this law and coming to build, when I read this, they just agree that it's right. And they're working on getting themselves out of the way of the Most High's blow. Because nobody wants to get smoked again. That's of my brothers that are walking in this walk. So if a man have a son depraved and rebellious who will not obey the word of his father or his mother, and who, when they reprove him, will not receive admonition from them. Okay, so this is a rebellious son who does not receive instruction from his father or his mother. Okay, and you have to understand, let me make this connection. If your mother and your father is rebellious against this law, if your granddaddy was rebellious against this law, because we come from Father Abraham and the Most High made a covenant with him and established with him. Everybody from Abraham down to Moses And the group that's getting ready to come into the land, because we're reading in Deuteronomy, these are our forefathers, and they have this law, and we must keep it. It can never be changed. Never. You cannot make any alterations. You cannot make any amendments. You can only receive how to follow it within its guidelines and borders.
Yeah, you can't replace it.
You cannot replace it. So,
Yeah, didn't we just read the other day? It said the Ark of the Testament, singular.
You cannot replace it. So, if you will not listen, and then when they reprove, so to reprove someone, okay, is to reprimand. Okay? When they come to correct you and say you are wrong, this is this way, and the son will not receive admonition, a firm warning. So you're told there's this and there is that. So now I'm reprimanding you. You can listen to what I'm telling you and follow the laws of our forefathers and walk therein, or you can die. Let's see what happens. From them, his father and his mother shall take him and bring him before the sages of the city at the door of the court of justice in that place. So now this is for my son that I'm going to have. Okay. And your kids when you have some here. Yes. All right. We take the kids when they don't act right.
That's right.
And they don't, not when they're young. We talk about a grown man.
Right.
They don't want to listen. We go to the court in our place, on our land, in our city. And we bring this rebellious son and say to the sages of the city, we had transgressed the decree of the word of Yah. Therefore was born to us this son who is presumptuous and disorderly. He will not hear our word. He is a glutton and a drunkard. All he do is eat and drink. He's lazy. He will not work for the building of the community. He will not serve in the service of the law. He will not do nothing.
And then look what the parent says. We had transgressed. So because of what we done, this is what we got. The son, this rebellious son, presumptuous and disorderly son, because of what we did.
You got it, right?
Oh my goodness! Well, at least they confessed their sin.
That's
their
the
guilt.
problem, because usually when this is the case, two people got together in an unlawful way.
That's right. Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
There is a lawful way to actually get together, and dating is not
it
on the menu.
Nope.
Okay? So, and it shall be that if he be brought to fear and receive instruction and beg that his life may be spared, you shall let him live. Okay. We're going to let you live. You're begging for your life. Please understand, we on watch because in the day, that you refuse to obey the instruction, we will be here to render judgment. The judgment is always out.
And they had you that child, that son, you, us, everyone has to come to a fear and
receive
instruction.
Right. So you see he's afraid and he received, listen, I accept. All right, fine. Your life can be spared. Okay? Now we giving him instructions, meaning from today on, he have assignments, he got work to do. He's going to continue in it because he know his life on the line. Okay, How does he know his life on the line? Well, let's continue reading and see what the law say. But if he refuse and continue in rebellion, he's rebellious, then all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall you put away the evildoer from among you, and all Israel will hear and be afraid.
See, this is why they won't come.
I know.
You know, because they're afraid of this.
Yeah, you 13, 14, 15, and I do, and bow. Boom, 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 dig the hole. Boom, 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 boom. Carry the body over there, bury him over there. Well, this is why I'm telling you we do it. We do it here. We'll bury you. It's not a game. You ain't gonna get beat up. You're gonna get buried.
Yep.
Everybody, all the men, gonna bury that son. He's raised up against his father and mother, and his father and mother followed the instructions of the law. Now he want to go his own way because he don't feel. Bury him. He will be buried. After he is buried, then all the youngsters know.
I ain't gonna do that. Nah, I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna fear.
They bury niggas.
Yeah. But see, people don't want that kind of order.
Now you wanna.
They want to do what they want.
Yeah. When a man has become guilty of the judgment of death and is condemned to be stoned, and they afterwards hang him on a beam or a tree or a pole, his dead body shall not remain upon the beam, but he shall certainly be buried on the same day. So we kill you today, we bury you today. For it is execrable, extremely bad or unpleasant.
Ooh.
Okay? Before Yah to hang a man, but that his guilt gave occasion for it. So it is an egregious thing to hang the dead body or to hang a man to death. But the law, being that the law, the man did everything for it to happen. So we had to keep the law and following it. That is why it has to be done. We'll be back. Go.
So if a person is condemned to be stoned, they can be hung?
Yes, you can. This, as you can clearly see from the instruction before, he is stoned. But sometimes there's stoning and hanging. And so you stone the man to death and you hang him up. This is an example. If you do what this man did, you will receive this.
Okay.
Okay? And we are all standing in agreement with this. So if you think about what happened during the lynchings, right? That engraved fear from the lynchings has really traumatized Black people in America from performing certain acts. Okay? Even though they're not lynching anymore, they still don't want to do those things no matter what they were. But that comes from our law. So it says if you do this, but they were lynching people for nothing and all kind of nothing. And now our people are afraid of doing anything.
So that's why in that video that girl was breaking down.
Right. She's crying for lynching. And I'm like, you are among your enemies. You need to move back to your land and start to get yourself strengthened back up organize, girded up, and be able to defend yourself against these people. You have to. There's no other way. But if you think you're gonna march it out and vote it out, you sadly mistaken. They doing what the hell they want to do without your vote, man. They do what they want. You don't have no vote. That vote is a fictitious thing.
Yeah.
Everybody going to a machine and then they print out this fake race on TV. All the news reports the exact same thing at the exact same time. They got fools down there counting up stuff that don't count. And then they say, oh, in the middle of the night, we have a winner, finally, in this great election. And it's the man we selected.
Look, they wait till you sleep
You good?
to let you know it's all a dream.
It was all a
dream.
You wake up in the morning.
You got a new president.
We come together today on this fine day after the ballot to come in. And it looked like so-and-so had the lead. It sounded like a horse race. It looked like the Democrats had the lead, and finally, in a sweeping push, the Republicans take the win.
To let you know it's all a dream.
It's all
a dream.
An all-night-day report with charts and coloring the states. Come on.
And you fall for it wearing a little sticker.
You got a little button.
I voted.
You dumb. The only time they ever move is when they are afraid that you're going to become violent. Then they say, whoa, we don't want them to get violent over this.
So we'll give them Juneteenth for the month.
Give them this. And look, they happy. Let them party. Give them some drink. We legalize marijuana. Yeah, give them.
Laban's playing. What's that, Micah 4?
Right. So he gave occasion for it. And because he was made in the image of Allah, you shall bury him at the going down of the sun, lest wild beasts abuse him, unless you overspread your land, which Yah, your Allah, giveth you to possess with the dead bodies of criminals.
Yeah, we don't want that. We need our land for farming.
Right. That's why I said, I told the sisters, right? She didn't get it because we hadn't read this yet, right? Because we're reading ahead of her personal reading. Personally, she's like going all the way back to Exodus and starting from the beginning, personally, to review and kind of grasp things. But in here, I'm blazing through because I'm reading and I'm giving explanations and I already understand. So I'm blazing through just to give you the opportunity and the foundation to do your homework. And I'm giving you the opportunity to buy and get the materials for your own studies so you can see whether or not I'm lying. Because everything that I tell you has to be verified, one, in the law, and two, in the stories and in the prophecies.
And for me now, I'm just going through the hands-on training process.
Right. So this is our first reading. We're going to get into judgment later, but now that we have the foundation, everything gets referenced back to the law. So instead of the law being something to, like, I don't know what they do. They just like to co-sign your idea. No. We go and we get what happened and we reference back to the law, and that's it. The law is the final say. Right?
It's not adjusted to your feelings.
And I don't go get the instructions or the words or any historical documents from outside my nation sources. So the law comes from my people and my people alone, and that's it.
Yeah, we don't want to be taking up land, burying bodies. We want to farm and feed our livestock.
All right. So that's chapter 21. We don't want to overspread our country and fill it up with dead bodies of criminals, lawbreakers of our law on it. Yeah. And that's why I told my sister, I said, I don't want to have, I'd rather scare you away and tell you exactly what we're going to do to you if you do these things, because we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay? So I'm telling you that, and I just want you to know that in telling you that you don't come. What? You want me to not come? Well, if you're not going to keep the law, I don't want you to come. Like, why would I want you to come and you're not going to keep it? You ain't going to obey it. You sitting here looking to get away from, you trying to escape from the torture and the torment of being in a bad nation.
Right.
Why are you going to come here and try to, can we sell weed? Can we do this? Why are you focused on drugs? We need food.
Right.
So I'm not interested in none of that. I'm not, that's not going to happen on none of my land. Okay? When I say my land, is the land, I'm over it. I am the king. It's being purchased under my birthright.
Right.
We just read about that.
Yes.
Yeah, the birthright. It's my birthright. And then there's nobody you can get to come ahead of me. Right? One, my father, he not interested. He come out to visit and he made sure that he already agreed. Okay? He gave over the right from him. My father came over here, met my sheikh, and put me in my sheikh's hand and signed over my right. Signed over his right, full authority for me. Thanks, Pop. I know you out there in the Bronx. I love you. And I'm the oldest, and I'm my father's firstborn son from the first woman. And my mother was a virgin. There is none. So you can go get my brother, you can go get a cousin, is it. The book stopped right here. There's nobody to get.
Right.
There's nobody. So my birthright, we're buying the land with my birthright, and I am governing it. I am the governor. Okay? We're not gonna make no confusion. Yes, you send them the money. Just think of this like you giving the government your tax money. You give you tax money, and I'm doing what the government's supposed to do for you. You have no say. I have a law, not you. There's no vote here. Welcome to the kingdom.
Yes.
So when I say I don't want to build a cemetery here, because once you allot that land for that, you immediately start filling it up. I don't want that. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting a cemetery. I just won't let you come. You can just be exiled. If you don't give, you don't give. I'm going to tell you something. You're going to see it. Okay? Before the Pesach come, and I'm not talking about the ones you guys trying to observe in the next coming weeks. That's not even the Passover. The Passover comes in the season of Hajj. It's in the same time frame, right? If you're Muslim, you know what the Hajj is. When we make the sacrifice for Abraham, it's in this time. So when we go and we make, before this time and this season come, when we supposed to have our Passover, you will see. We will be established.
Wait a minute. I just came to thought. So is this why Father Abraham bought caves to bury so that the land won't be occupied with dead bodies?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you can't have dead bodies of these people hanging all over the place like savages. No. You bury them. These people made, every person, every human body has the image of the Most High. It's a head, a body, hands, feet, legs. You are made in His shape, in His image. So no. We don't put this up here. Take this down. Bury him. Let him lay to rest. He was a criminal, but we do what was lawfully supposed to be performed. He was testing us whether we would keep the law in this matter on this occasion. That's all it is. You make me have to react. the law is not proactive,
Right.
it's reactive. You get the first move. In chess, white moves first. They are the aggressor. If white don't move, black never moves. See?
So ironic. That's kind of what's happening with our people now.
Right. So since white is now on the move, is getting ready, I promise you, the judgment of the edict that's given is to utterly wipe black people out. America, Europe, it's to put you as cannon fodder in front of the war and the problems. You're the front line. You're to face the brunt of it. If you don't believe me, you will see this over the next few years. Because 40 is nothing.
No.
Okay? 40 is nothing. You guys are going to be like, man, you're going to be an old man. We'll see. I'm working on it. Okay? I'm working on something here. I'm working on some health and everything else. We're going to see who's on what side of the judgment when the time comes. One step at a time, one day at a time. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're probably going to start picking it up here soon, but I got some business to take care of today, and then we'll start pushing
Yes.
to get toward the end. All right? One.